You Deserve to Be Rich, written and published by Rich Audiobooks. Wealth isn't reserved for the chosen few, it's your birthright. You Deserve to Be Rich is a powerful reminder that abundance begins the moment you believe you're worthy of it. For too long you've been taught to settle, shrink, or struggle, but deep down you know you were made for more. This book is not just about making money, it's about reclaiming your value, shifting your identity, and finally saying yes to the life you were meant to live. Because the truth is simple. You don't have to earn the right to be rich, you just have to accept it. Chapter 1. The Truth. Wealth is your birthright. From the moment you entered this world, you were destined for abundance. This isn't merely a feel-good statement, it's a fundamental truth woven into the very fabric of our universe. Look around you. Nature itself operates from a principle of abundance. A single apple tree produces hundreds of fruits, far more than it needs for its own reproduction. The ocean contains countless drops of water. The stars in our galaxy number in the billions, and there are billions of galaxies beyond our own. You exist within this naturally abundant universe, and you are made of the same essence. Your capacity for wealth isn't something you need to earn or prove, it's already encoded in your DNA. Just as you don't need to convince yourself that you deserve to breathe air or feel the warmth of the sun, you don't need to convince yourself that you deserve wealth. It's your natural state. Yet somewhere along the way, humanity created artificial constructs of scarcity. We developed beliefs that wealth must be limited, that there isn't enough to go around, that abundance for one person means lack for another. These are human inventions, not universal laws. They're stories we've been telling ourselves for generations, passed down through family histories, cultural narratives, and societal structures designed to maintain control through the illusion of scarcity. Think about money itself. It's simply a human-created symbol of exchange, a representation of energy. The paper or digital numbers in your bank account aren't wealth themselves. They represent the potential for exchange. When you understand this, you realize that wealth isn't a finite resource to be hoarded or competed for. It's an endless flow of energy, constantly moving and available to all who align themselves with its natural abundance. Your birthright of wealth extends beyond mere financial prosperity. It encompasses all forms of abundance, creativity, love, health, opportunity, and joy. These aspects of wealth are interconnected, flowing from the same source of universal abundance. When you deny your right to material wealth, you often unconsciously restrict the flow of other forms of abundance in your life. This denial of your wealth birthright often stems from misinterpreted spiritual or religious teachings that suggest poverty is somehow more virtuous than prosperity. But consider this. If you were creating a universe, would you design it to force your beloved creations to struggle and suffer? Or would you create a system of abundant support and unlimited potential? The universe operates on principles of expansion, growth, and multiplication, not contraction and lack. Understanding wealth as your birthright requires a fundamental shift in perspective. Instead of asking, "What must I do to become wealthy?" start asking, "What's blocking me from experiencing the wealth that's already mine?" This shift moves you from a position of seeking to one of allowing. It transforms the wealth journey from an organic unfolding. Your role isn't to convince the universe to grant you wealth, it's to align yourself with the abundant flow that's already there. Like a radio tuning into a broadcast that's always playing, you're simply adjusting your frequency to receive what's already being transmitted. This alignment begins with accepting, at the deepest level, that wealth isn't a reward for good behavior or hard work, it's your natural state of being. As you embrace this truth, notice how it feels in your body. Does it create resistance? Does it feel like coming home? These sensations are important indicators of where you stand in relationship to your birthright of wealth. The journey ahead isn't about becoming something you're not, it's about returning to what you've always been, a natural extension of an abundant universe, perfectly positioned and fully deserving of all forms of wealth. Chapter 2. Break the chains of guilt around money. Money guilt is perhaps the most insidious barrier standing between you and the wealth you deserve. This peculiar form of emotional bondage has likely been with you since childhood, woven into your consciousness through generations of well-meaning but misguided teachings about the morality of money. Think back to the messages you received about wealth in your early years. Perhaps you heard phrases like, "Money is the root of all evil," "Rich people are greedy," or "You have to work hard for every penny." These seemingly innocent statements planted seeds of guilt that have grown into thick chains, binding you to a pattern of financial self-denial. The truth is, these messages reflect others' limitations, not your divine right to prosperity. The false virtue of poverty has been particularly damaging to our collective relationship with wealth. Somewhere along the way, society began equating material lack with spiritual abundance, creating a devastating either-or paradigm that forces people to choose between financial success and moral goodness. This artificial dichotomy has caused countless people to unconsciously reject wealth, believing that their spiritual worth somehow increases with their material sacrifices. Your guilt around money likely surfaces in subtle ways throughout your daily life. You might feel uncomfortable charging what you're worth, apologize for your success, or experience anxiety when making purchases for yourself. These guilt triggers are not random. They're direct manifestations of your internalized money wounds. Each time you shrink from opportunity or allowing these old patterns to dictate your financial reality. The path to liberation begins with acknowledging that guilt around money is learned, not inherent. You weren't born feeling shameful about wealth. This response was conditioned into you. Just as you learn to feel guilty about money, you can learn to embrace it with joy and gratitude. This process requires gentle but persistent awareness of your emotional responses to money situations. When you feel the familiar tug of money guilt, pause and breathe into that sensation. Notice where it lives in your body. Does your chest tighten? Does your stomach clench? These physical responses are valuable clues helping you identify and release the emotional charges around wealth. Each time you consciously choose not to engage with guilt, you weaken its hold on your financial future. Creating a new relationship with wealth means actively practicing guilt-free prosperity. Start small. Buy yourself something nice without justification. Accept a gift or compliment without deflection. Raise your prices without apologizing. Each of these actions helps reprogram your nervous system, teaching it that it's safe and good to receive abundance. Wealth itself is neutral. It's simply a form of energy that can be directed toward whatever ends you choose. The more money you allow yourself to receive, the more good you can do in the world. By healing your relationship with money, you become a powerful channel for abundance to flow through you and touch others' lives. Your guilt around money has served its purpose. It's shown you where healing is needed and highlighted the beliefs that no longer serve you. Now it's time to release these chains, knowing that your freedom serves not only you, but everyone whose life you touch. You are ready to step into a new paradigm where wealth and worthiness coexist perfectly, where abundance flows naturally, and where financial freedom is your natural state of being. As you move forward, hold this truth close. You are not betraying anyone or anything by becoming wealthy. In fact, your prosperity is a gift to the world, demonstrating what's possible when we release the chains of guilt and step fully into our power as conscious creators of abundance. Chapter 3, You Are Worthy of Every Dream. The space between where you are and where you want to be is filled with one primary element: worthiness. Your capacity to receive wealth directly correlates to how worthy you believe you are of having it. This worthiness gap, the distance between your desires and your self-perceived deservingness, is what keeps countless people stuck in financial limitation. Take a moment to consider your deepest dreams. Perhaps it's the oceanfront villa you've always imagined, the business empire you envision building, or the ability to donate millions to causes close to your heart. As these visions arise, notice the immediate internal response. Do you feel a flutter of excitement followed by a heavy weight of, "Who am I to want that?" This is your worthiness gap speaking. We've been conditioned to believe that certain dreams are for other people, those who are somehow more special, more talented, or more deserving than us. This is a profound misconception that keeps you separated from your natural state of abundance. The truth is that your dreams exist precisely because they are meant for you. The very fact that you can imagine these possibilities is evidence that they are within your spiritual and energetic reach. Your worthiness isn't something you need to earn or achieve, it's your fundamental nature. Just as a rose doesn't question its right to bloom, or a star doesn't doubt its right to shine, you don't need to justify your desire for prosperity. The universe operates on principles of expansion and abundance. Your dreams of wealth are simply your soul's recognition of its unlimited potential. This understanding requires a radical shift in how you relate to your desires. Instead of approaching them with apology or hesitation, start treating them as sacred messages from your highest self. When you feel drawn to experience greater luxury, impact, or financial freedom, These aren't superficial wants. They're spiritual directives pointing you toward your fullest expression. The process of closing the worthiness gap begins with giving yourself complete permission to want what you want. This means releasing the need to rationalize or minimize your desires. You don't need to explain why you want a private jet or justify your vision of a multi-million-dollar home. Your desires don't require defense or validation. They simply need your acceptance and alignment. Start practicing the art of unapologetic dreaming. Let your imagination soar beyond the constraints of what seems reasonable or practical. Your rational mind may protest, citing past experiences or current circumstances as evidence of what's possible. But your worth isn't determined by your history or your present situation. It's an unchangeable truth of who you are. Each time you catch yourself thinking, "I could never have that," or "that's too much to ask for," recognize these thoughts as outdated programming rather than truth. Replace them with the simple yet powerful affirmation, "I am worthy of this and more." Let this become your default response to every dream that enters your consciousness. The universe is waiting to shower you with abundance that matches the magnitude of your desires. But this can only happen to the extent that you believe you deserve it. Your worthiness is the gateway through which all prosperity flows. As you strengthen your sense of deservingness, you'll notice opportunities and resources naturally gravitating toward you, confirming what you are worthy of every beautiful dream your heart has ever conceived. Chapter 4. Say Goodbye to Self-Sabotage. Self-sabotage is the silent thief that robs us of our rightful abundance. It operates in the shadows of our consciousness, creating patterns so subtle we might mistake them for just the way things are. But these patterns are far from natural. They are learned behaviors that have become deeply ingrained through years of unconscious programming. Think about the last time something wonderful was about to manifest in your life. Perhaps a business opportunity, a promotion, or an unexpected windfall. Did you experience a sudden urge to play it safe or find yourself making choices that ultimately derailed your success? This is self-sabotage at work, and it's one of the most common ways we block our own prosperity. The mechanisms of wealth resistance often masquerade as practicality or prudence. We might tell ourselves we're being realistic when we talk ourselves out of pursuing lucrative opportunities. We might convince ourselves we're being responsible when we settle for less than we desire. These seemingly logical decisions are actually manifestations of our unconscious wealth ceiling, the invisible barrier we've placed on how much abundance we allow ourselves to experience. Your wealth ceiling was likely constructed from various experiences throughout your life. Perhaps you witnessed your parents struggling with money and internalized the belief that financial hardship is normal. Maybe you received messages that wealthy people are somehow unethical or that making money requires sacrifice and suffering. These early impressions create a complex web of limitations that actively work against your conscious desires for prosperity. Breaking the cycle of self-sabotage requires both awareness and action. Start by observing your patterns without judgment. Notice when you feel uncomfortable with success or find yourself creating obstacles in your path. Pay attention to the small ways you might be undermining your progress: procrastination on important financial decisions, avoiding opportunities that could lead to greater wealth, or maintaining relationships with people who reinforce your limiting beliefs. The most powerful step in dismantling self-sabotage is recognizing that your past patterns do not define your future potential. Your brain is remarkably adaptable, capable of forming new neural pathways that support wealth and success. Each time you choose a new response to old triggers, you're literally rewiring your brain for prosperity. Creating new success habits begins with small, consistent actions that align with your wealth goals. Instead of automatically saying, "I can't afford it," pause and ask yourself, "How can I create the resources for this?" Rather than shrinking from recognition, practice receiving compliments and acknowledgement with grace. When fear arises around money decisions, lean into the discomfort rather than retreating to your comfort zone. Your relationship with wealth is ultimately a reflection of your relationship with yourself. As you develop stronger self-trust and self-worth, your capacity to receive and maintain abundance naturally expands. This isn't about forcing yourself to take aggressive action or pushing through resistance. It's about gently and persistently choosing alignment with your highest good. So, self-sabotage patterns developed as a form of protection. Part of you believed these behaviors would keep you safe or help you fit in with your social circle. Acknowledge this protective intention while firmly deciding that you no longer need these limitations. You're ready for a new level of success, and your inner wisdom knows exactly how to guide you there. The journey of releasing self-sabotage is not about reaching a perfect state where you never experience doubt or fear. It's about developing a new relationship with these emotions, one where they no longer have the power to derail your progress. You can feel the fear and still move forward. You can acknowledge the doubt while continuing to take inspired action. This is the path to true financial freedom. Chapter 5. Reclaim the power to reminisce abundantly. The art of receiving is perhaps one of the most misunderstood aspects of creating wealth. From an early age, most of us were taught that it's better to give than to receive. While generosity is indeed a virtue, this mindset has created a dangerous imbalance in how we relate to accepting abundance in our lives. The truth is, receiving is just as sacred as giving. It's part of the natural flow of life, like breathing in and breathing out. Think about how you feel when someone pays you a compliment. Do you immediately deflect, minimize, or feel the need to return the praise? This same pattern often shows up in how we receive money, opportunities, and support. We've been conditioned to believe that receiving makes us selfish, greedy, or unworthy. This couldn't be further from the truth. When you block your ability to receive, you're actually disrupting the universal flow of energy and preventing others from experiencing the joy of giving. Your capacity to receive is directly linked to your sense of deservingness. Consider a cup that's already full. No matter how much more you try to pour in, it will overflow and spill. Similarly, if your beliefs about receiving are blocked by unworthiness, guilt, or fear, the abundance trying to reach you will find nowhere to land. Opening yourself to receive requires creating space within, emotionally, energetically, and sometimes even physically. The practice of receptivity begins with your body. Notice how you physically respond when someone offers you something, whether it's help, a gift, or an opportunity. Do you tense up, pull back, cross your arms? Your body holds the wisdom of your receiving patterns. Start by consciously relaxing your body when opportunities for receiving present themselves. Take deep breaths, open your palms, soften your shoulders. Your physical openness signals to the universe your willingness to receive. Money flows through channels of receptivity. Just as a river needs open banks to flow freely, wealth requires open pathways in your life. These pathways include your bank accounts, your relationships, your work, and, most importantly, your beliefs about what you can receive. Look at where you might be constraining these channels. Are you charging less than you're worth? Avoiding asking for help? Refusing opportunities because they seem too good to be true? Divine reciprocity is a universal law. For every giving, there must be receiving. When you deny yourself the ability to receive, you're not just limiting yourself, you're denying others the blessing of giving. Consider how you feel when someone refuses your gift or insists on immediately paying you back. That uncomfortable feeling is exactly what you create when you resist receiving. By learning to receive graciously, you're actually allowing others to experience the joy of generosity. The universe is constantly attempting to lavish you with abundance, but it requires your participation. Start small. Receive compliments with a simple thank you. Accept help when it's offered. Allow someone to treat you to lunch without insisting on reciprocation. These seemingly minor acts of receiving build your capacity for greater abundance. They strengthen your deservingness muscle and signal to the universe that you're ready for more. Your ability to receive abundantly is your divine right. It's not something you need to earn or prove yourself worthy of. It's already yours to claim. As you practice opening to receive, you'll notice more opportunities, synchronicities, and support flowing into your life. The universe will begin to respond to your newfound receptivity with increased abundance in all forms. Remember, your willingness to receive is not just about you. It's about allowing the natural flow of abundance to move through you and touch everyone around you. Chapter 6. Let go of fear, step into overflow. Fear is the single greatest barrier between you and the abundance that awaits you. Like a protective parent who means well but ultimately stifles growth, fear keeps you trapped in familiar patterns of lack while claiming to keep you safe. But what if that safety is actually the very cage that's preventing you from experiencing the overflow of wealth that's your natural birthright? The root of financial fear often stems from early experiences where we witnessed or experienced scarcity, loss, or instability. These moments become embedded in our nervous system, creating an unconscious blueprint that guides our decisions about money. We begin to operate from a place of protection rather than expansion, always preparing for the worst rather than expecting the best. This hypervigilance around money creates tension in our energy field, literally blocking the flow of abundance that wants to reach us. Moving from scarcity to abundance requires a fundamental shift in how we relate to uncertainty. The truth is, absolute security is an illusion. Even the wealthiest people can't control every variable in life. But rather than seeing this as frightening, we can choose to view it as liberating. When we release the need for complete control, we open ourselves to possibilities beyond our limited imagination. The universe operates on principles of overflow. Just look at nature, where seeds don't produce just one flower but hundreds, where trees don't bear just one fruit but branches full of abundance. To step into overflow consciousness, we must first make peace with our fears. This doesn't mean eliminating them entirely, but rather changing our relationship with them. Instead of letting fear be the driver of our financial decisions, we can acknowledge it as valuable information while choosing to act from a place of trust and possibility. When fear arises, simply notice it, thank it for trying to protect you, and gently remind yourself that you're safe to receive more. The practice of overflow thinking requires regular exercise of your abundance muscles. Start by looking for evidence of overflow in your daily life, the endless supply of air you breathe, the unlimited thoughts you can think, the boundless love you can feel. As you train yourself to notice abundance, you'll naturally begin to align with its frequency. Your energy field will shift from constriction to expansion, allowing more opportunities, resources, and wealth to flow toward you. Creating safety within uncertainty becomes possible when you develop an unshakable trust in the universe's endless supply. This isn't blind faith, but rather a deep knowing based on universal principles. Just as you trust the sun will rise each morning, you can trust that abundance is the natural state of the universe. Your job isn't to figure out how every dollar will come to you, but to maintain an open and receptive state that allows wealth to flow through you. The transition from fear-based thinking to overflow consciousness happens gradually, like the dawn breaking. Each time you choose trust over fear, abundance over scarcity, possibility over limitation, you strengthen your connection to the infinite supply of the universe. Your energy field becomes more magnetic to wealth, and you'll find yourself naturally attracting greater opportunities for abundance. Flow isn't just about money, it's a state of being that affects every area of your life. When you live in overflow consciousness, you naturally give more generously, love more freely, and create more abundantly. You become a channel for wealth rather than a container trying to hold on to it. This is the paradox of abundance. The more you allow it to flow through you, the more it multiplies in your experience. The universe is waiting to lavish you with prosperity beyond your wildest dreams. Your only task is to let go of the fear that's holding you back and step boldly into the overflow that's already yours. As you release your grip on scarcity, you'll find yourself supported by forces greater than your fears, carried by currents of abundance that have been waiting to lift you higher all along. Chapter 7. Rewrite the narrative. You are chosen for wealth. Every person's relationship with money is shaped by a story, a narrative woven from childhood experiences, cultural messages, and personal interpretations of success and abundance. These stories become the invisible scripts that direct our financial decisions, shape our beliefs about what's possible, and ultimately determine our wealth trajectory. Your current financial reality isn't just a product of your actions. It's a manifestation of the story you've been telling yourself about money and your place in the world of abundance. Think back to the earliest messages you received about wealth. Perhaps you heard that money doesn't grow on trees, that rich people are inherently unethical, or that your family has always struggled financially. These narratives, though they may seem like absolute truths, are simply stories that were passed down to you. The profound reality is that you have the power to rewrite these stories at any moment. Your wealth narrative isn't just about money, it's about your entire relationship with abundance, success, and worthiness. When you examine your current story, you might discover themes of struggle, sacrifice, or unworthiness. These themes often manifest as self-fulfilling prophecies, creating exactly the kind of financial experience you've been programmed to expect. But just as you inherited these limiting narratives, you can consciously choose to craft a new story that aligns with your highest vision for yourself. The process of rewriting your wealth narrative begins with recognition. Notice the language you use when discussing money, success, or abundance. Do you speak from a place of limitation or possibility? Pay attention to your automatic thoughts when opportunities arise. Do you immediately calculate all the ways things could go wrong, or do you allow yourself to imagine the potential for expansion? These patterns reveal the underlying story that's currently directing your financial life. Your new narrative must be both inspiring and believable. It's not about creating fantasy, but rather about recognizing the truth of your infinite potential. Begin by acknowledging that wealth is not a random occurrence, but a natural outcome of alignment with abundance. You are not merely permitted to be wealthy, you are chosen for it. This isn't spiritual bypassing or magical thinking, it's a recognition of your inherent capacity to create, receive, and manage wealth. Writing your prosperity declaration is a powerful way to cement your new narrative. This is more than an affirmation. It's a detailed account of your relationship with wealth, written as if it's already your reality. Include specific details about how you interact with money, the ease with which abundance flows to you, and the impact your wealth has on the world. Read this declaration daily, allowing its truth to sink deep into your consciousness. The most powerful aspect of narrative work is living from your new wealth identity. This means making decisions, taking actions, and showing up in the world as if your new story is already true. How would someone who knows they're chosen for wealth approach opportunities? What kind of self-care would they practice? How would they speak about money? Let these questions guide your behavior as you step into your new narrative. Your wealth story isn't just about you, it's about the ripple effect your abundance creates in the world. When you step into your role as someone chosen for wealth, you become an example of what's possible. Your new narrative becomes a light that shows others the way to their own abundance. This is the ultimate purpose of rewriting your wealth story, to create a legacy of abundance that extends far beyond your own experience. Your old story served its purpose, teaching you valuable lessons and helping you survive. Now it's time to write a new chapter, one that reflects your true potential and your rightful place in the stream of abundance. You are chosen for wealth, and your new narrative is the key to claiming that birthright. Chapter 8. Normalize luxury, ease, and freedom. For too long you've been conditioned to believe that luxury is excessive, ease is lazy, and freedom is selfish. These limiting beliefs have kept you tethered to a life of mediocrity, always settling for less than what your soul truly desires. Today, we're going to reshape your relationship with these concepts and help you understand that they are not just acceptable, they are essential elements of your spiritual and personal growth. Luxury serves a profound purpose in your evolution. When you allow yourself to experience finer things, you expand your consciousness and create new neural pathways that normalize abundance. Each time you upgrade your experience, whether it's staying at a better hotel, buying higher quality clothes, or dining at elegant restaurants, you're teaching your nervous system that prosperity is safe and natural. This isn't about materialism. It's about honoring your inherent worth and allowing yourself to experience life at its fullest potential. The resistance to ease often stems from deep-seated programming that equates struggle with virtue. You might have grown up hearing phrases like no pain, no gain, or hard work is the only path to success. While effort and dedication have their place, perpetual struggle is not a badge of honor, it's a form of self-punishment. True prosperity flows when you allow things to come easily, when you stop forcing and start flowing. This might mean hiring help, delegating tasks, or simply taking the path of least resistance without guilt. Freedom is your natural state, yet many people have been taught to fear it. They've become so accustomed to constraints that boundless possibility feels threatening. Your journey to normalizing freedom begins with small choices, saying no to obligations that don't serve you, creating flexible schedules, and designing your life on your terms. As you embrace more freedom, you'll notice that it doesn't lead to chaos as feared, but rather to a more authentic expression of your highest self. Creating an elevated standard of living isn't about comparison or competition. It's about expanding your capacity to receive and enjoy life's abundance. Start by identifying areas where you've been unnecessarily restricting yourself. Perhaps you always buy the second cheapest wine, choose the middle-tier option, or talk yourself out of experiences you truly desire. Challenge yourself to upgrade one aspect of your life each month, paying attention to how it feels in your body to choose premium over basic. The world needs you to normalize abundance. When you allow yourself to live in luxury, ease, and freedom, you become a walking permission slip for others to do the same. You demonstrate that prosperity isn't just for a select few, it's the natural order of things. Your elevated lifestyle creates a ripple effect, lifting the consciousness of everyone around you and contributing to the collective abundance of the universe. Your new normal can be whatever you choose it to be. If first-class travel feels aligned with your soul, make it your standard. If wearing designer clothes helps you embody your highest self, let that be your baseline. There's no virtue in choosing less than what truly resonates with your spirit. The universe is abundant, and by allowing yourself to experience its riches, you're actually participating in the divine dance of creation. Your relationship with luxury, ease, and freedom is constantly evolving. What feels luxurious today might become your baseline tomorrow, and that's perfectly natural. This isn't about reaching a specific destination, it's about continuously expanding your capacity to receive and enjoy life's abundance. As you normalize these higher standards of living, you'll find yourself naturally attracting more opportunities, experiences, and resources that match your elevated frequency. Chapter 9. Affirmations to an Angry Deservingness. Words hold immense power to shape our reality, and affirmations serve as the bridge between our current state and our desired abundance. Your subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what you repeatedly tell it and what is objectively true. It simply accepts and acts upon the information it receives most frequently. This is why consciously chosen affirmations can fundamentally transform your relationship with wealth. The practice of wealth affirmations goes far beyond merely repeating positive phrases. It's about creating new neural pathways that support your natural state of abundance. When you declare, "I am wealthy," or "money flows to me easily," you're not trying to convince yourself of something false. You're acknowledging the truth of your inherent deservingness and aligning with the universal flow of abundance. Your wealth consciousness requires daily nurturing, much like a garden needs consistent care to flourish. Begin each morning by placing your hand on your heart and declaring 3 wealth truths that resonate deeply with your soul. These might include statements like, "I am a magnet for financial opportunities," or "My capacity to receive grows stronger every day." The key is to feel the energy of these words vibrating through your entire being, allowing them to sink into every cell of your body. Throughout your day, use situational affirmations to maintain your abundance frequency. When paying bills, affirm, "I bless every dollar that flows through my life." While working, declare, "My value creates endless streams of income." During financial decisions, remind yourself, "I make choices that honor my wealth." These moment-specific declarations help you maintain your prosperity consciousness even during potentially triggering situations. Evening rituals are equally crucial for programming your wealth mindset. As you prepare for sleep, your subconscious mind becomes more receptive to new programming. Use this time to reflect on the day's abundance and affirm your expanding prosperity. Statements like, "While I sleep, my wealth multiplies," and "I wake up to increasing financial opportunities" set powerful intentions that work through the night. Creating personalized wealth declarations amplifies their effectiveness. Generic affirmations can be useful starting points, but crafting statements that speak to your specific desires and circumstances creates a deeper resonance. Consider your unique journey, challenges, and aspirations. Transform "I am prosperous" into "I am celebrating my multiple streams of passive income that support my dream lifestyle." The more specific and personal your affirmations, the more powerful their impact. Your wealth affirmations should evolve as you grow. What served you at the beginning of your journey might need upgrading as your prosperity consciousness expands. Pay attention to which statements feel energizing and which ones no longer create excitement. When an affirmation starts feeling routine or bland, elevate it to match your expanding vision. Replace "I attract abundance" with "I am a powerful creator of unlimited wealth and opportunities." Affirmations work in harmony with action. As you declare your wealth consciousness, your intuition will guide you toward aligned choices and opportunities. Trust these nudges and act upon them. Your affirmations create the energetic foundation for your success, while your actions bring these declarations into physical reality. This partnership between word and deed creates unstoppable momentum on your wealth journey. The process of anchoring your deservingness through affirmations is both an art and a science. Approach it with playfulness and curiosity, noticing how different words and phrases affect your energy. Some statements will feel like keys unlocking doors within you, while others might need refinement to resonate fully. Trust your inner guidance to lead you to the perfect expressions of your wealth consciousness. Your chosen affirmations become the soundtrack of your prosperity, playing consistently in the background of your mind. They shape your expectations, influence your decisions, and attract corresponding experiences into your life. Each declaration of your deservingness strengthens your connection to the infinite abundance of the universe, making it increasingly natural to receive and maintain greater levels of wealth. Chapter 10. Walk boldly in the energy of I am rich. The journey you've undertaken through these pages has prepared you for this moment, stepping fully into your power as a wealthy being. Walking in the energy of I am rich isn't about pretending or fake it till you make it mentality. It's about aligning with the truth that already exists within you, the wealth consciousness that has always been your natural state. Living in the energy of I am rich means moving through the world with unshakable certainty about your divine right to abundance. It means carrying yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth isn't up for debate. When you embody this energy, you naturally attract opportunities, resources, and connections that match your elevated vibration. This energy shift manifests in countless subtle ways throughout your day. It's in how you order at restaurants without scanning prices first. It's in how you speak about money with ease and appreciation. It's in how you make decisions from a place of expansion rather than constraint. The energy of wealth shows up in your posture, your smile, the way you enter a room, and how you interact with others. Consider how a person who has always been wealthy moves through life. They don't question whether they deserve to be in high-end spaces. They don't apologize for their success or shrink themselves to make others comfortable. They understand that their prosperity enables them to lift others, to create more opportunities, and to make a bigger impact in the world. The energy of I am rich isn't about arrogance or superiority. Instead, it's about claiming your place in the natural flow of abundance. When you walk in this energy, you become a living invitation for others to step into their own wealth consciousness. Your example gives others permission to desire more, to receive more, and to be more. They recognize an energy requires consistent cultivation. Each morning, take a moment to feel wealth coursing through your veins. Let it inform your choices, your words, and your actions. When you encounter resistance or old patterns trying to resurface, simply return to the truth. I am rich is not a future state to achieve. It's your current reality to embrace. Your relationship with money becomes a sacred dance when you operate from this energy. You treat your finances with respect and intention, not from a place of fear or scarcity. You make investment decisions with clarity and confidence. You generate income through channels that honor your talents and bring you joy. You spend in ways that align with your values and vision for your life. Walking boldly in this energy means releasing the need to justify your abundance. You no longer feel compelled to explain your success or downplay your achievements. You understand that your wealth is a natural expression of your alignment with universal laws of prosperity. Your rich life becomes an inspiration rather than a source of apology. The energy of I am rich transforms not just your financial reality, but every aspect of your life. Your relationships deepen because you're no longer operating from lack. Your creativity flows more freely because you're not constrained by artificial limitations. Your impact expands because you're fully embodying your potential. As you close this book and step into your next chapter, remember that the energy of I am rich is your native frequency. You're not learning something new, you're remembering who you've always been. Let every step you take be infused with this truth. Let every breath remind you of your infinite capacity to receive. You are rich, you are worthy, you are ready. Now walk boldly in that knowing and watch your world transform.